Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello to all my lovelies, my beauties, my royalties. Happy Pride Month. Take that deep, deep breath, cause ooh, baby, trust me, yeah. I recorded this the same day as the previous episode, and I didn't say take a deep breath. Sorry, I was still taking the deep breath of being pissed off because the guy who kept saying I love you and it's like all this other garbage and lies and just oh yeah, he just broke off with me today, just a couple hours ago. But then he said he had no reason to. Do you know how many men but then some a lot well he's never going to, but a lot of men try to come back in my life. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. And oh well, yeah, it's like I didn't really have a reason, and it's like you're just amazing, and I'm sorry. And so I just want to make you like some men just want to make me jealous or emotional, or some of them are used to toxic relations. Some of them are used to toxic relationships, like I mentioned in the previous episode, and just yeah, the reasons why like men have broken up with me. Whew. But then sometimes like they break up with me, but then they're emotional. They want me to feel like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it like, why are you crying? Why do you feel bad? Why do you, what in the, okay. And this is why, like, if you guys have been listening, you already know. You already know the advice. Like, because when I break up with somebody, I'm happy and excited. I do the happy dance. When I broke up with Mr. No Heart, oh, I was so like, this is like a couple months after my surgery. Like, no, yeah, actually, yeah, because yeah, once he did not call me for a full month, it was a wrap. It was over. It's like, is there an actual concrete day that we broke up? No, because yeah, I mean, once you don't call somebody for about 4 months. Yeah, you're stupid if you still think you're together. But yeah, it's just funny because when I broke up with Mr. No Heart, I was already celebrating that I finished my degree, and that's another funny thing. I was starting to call around to see because like he didn't really get to celebrate his graduation, and so there was a present and a dinner thing that I wanted him, like, since he didn't get that. And I never got that, so I know exactly how that feels. If you've been listening, you already know about my college graduation situations because, yeah, my family, the toxicity, the verbal ABUSC, and everything. Yeah. So, with his previous relationship, like, she did not, and so, and whenever he mentioned it, he downgraded it. And I'm just like, no, you spent that time, you did the work. You're amazing because you accomplished this. You're smart. Like, you did all of this while, like, I'm not going to say everything or whatever, but yeah. And that's why I say he is an amazing guy. And he's not perfect. So that's why, yeah, I'm dragging him a little bit. Yes. Did I ever think I was going to? Of course not. But he turned out to be a liar in a few, like, yeah, yeah. But okay, the main thing I really have to talk about, especially from the point of view of someone with a disability who I'm still getting back to my full independence and stuff because of how my medical nightmare, the no good, stupid, idiotic, some of them bigoted doctors treated me and allowed me to get to the state where I am now, or I was so much worse off years ago. But then I've had to put the work in. And I've like even beyond the episodes, he knows things that none of you guys know about my medical nightmare. And I told him that like how like just how heartbreaking and everything and the emotional like trauma and stuff. Like and he knows how I've been through so much. But he thought the best idea was I'm going to just shock her and tell her I'm breaking up with her. I'm just gonna do it right off the bat with no explanation, no reason. See, okay, if you're gonna break up with somebody, but then you say that you've been thinking about doing it for 2 weeks, have a reason. Because if not, you sound really stupid. And this is a smart man. But in this situation, he sounds really stupid because if you have no reason, I know there is a reason and you're just hiding it and you're pretending and you just don't like, if you don't like me, even though you said I love you, how many, and yeah, mm hmm, mm hmm. But if you're gonna break up with somebody, especially with a walking disability and somebody who temporarily can't drive or they're working on driving and things like that or whatever, whatever, don't drive them off of their property and break up with them. And especially now, they have to like wait until you feel like driving back. Because pardon me, I was about to say, let me out. I'll get an Uber. I was so at that point. But I was so emotional. Like I was trying my best not to cry. And I knew if I got out the car and everything, and or if people were gonna look at me, I would just break that down in tears. Because yeah, he drove to a park to break up with me. hmm hmm The parking lot is full. And he decided, like, yo, yeah, perfect spot to break up. And yeah, I'm gonna take her away from the house because I was like, and I told him, you should have just called me. I'm a mature enough woman where if you had just called me, I would have been like, okay, bet, block, no, nothing else. But he was like, no, I didn't want to do it that way. No, I don't want to do it that. But I would like either that or if I had my own car. Oh, I have my own car. No, I do have my own car and everything like that. But yeah, if you don't know my disability nightmare, catch up. I still haven't told everything, but yeah, basically, doctors I told doctors since I was little about like I walk differently because I can't help it, and that led to physical and emotional and verbal ABUSC all throughout my life. The pain got worse and worse and worse until I could literally not walk anymore. Had to have surgery, blah 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 blah. There's so much more in between that. But go watch the episode that medical let's see. Who's the villain? Dr. George Sorelli. That's a good one. Yeah. Once you listen to that's just like a little snippet of what I've been through. And he knows all about it. And he knows about a couple other doctors that I will be talking about soon too. But yeah, you don't just like, oh yeah, she has no choice. But like either get an Uber or she has to ride back to, or I get to control when she gets back into the house. Because I was like, I told him he didn't have to drive anywhere. He could have even done this in the driveway. No, well, I didn't want to be seen. Like, oh, you don't want to be looked at. You don't want to be questioned. You don't want like, huh? He had no business the date night when something magically ended up in his vehicle. He had no problem being in my driveway and calling the cops in my mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But this is like, and this is so that people without disabilities and for warnings for those with disabilities, make sure you're like, if you're going to break up with somebody or hurt their feelings or something like that, like, no, like, do that at their residence, at their place, so that they can have the privilege of kicking you out and telling you to leave. Because now you're hurting them on your territory. You're having the control over them while you are hurting them. You're embarrassing them. It's like that. And also, I've already been in enough car trauma, especially with men, when men are like, "Oh, I want to take you out. Let's go out on a date." And then they tell me, "Oh, get in my car. I'll save gas or whatever. I'll drive you." And next thing you know, they try to drive me to a park. Remember that one date? Yeah, he threw my walker out the vehicle and told me that I had to give him, you know what, in order for him to drive me home or drive me wherever. Remember that? And or remember the study group at the library? He drove in the back where the librarians park or the employees park. And but he parked right to the point where I can't open my door. And he told me that, like, yeah, a lot of men have, like, and this is like so many men, why don't you trust us? Why don't you trust me? I'm different. I'm not like every other man. Mm. So far, every man has proven to be just like every other man. And then so many men get upset with me because I don't trust them immediately. And that's the thing, like, I don't, like, so many people are going to say I'm gullible. And the thing is, no, like, if you've been listening to the stories and the situations, like, maybe I was gullible with Mr. Lockakey because when he said that he was going to eliminate himself from the earth if I didn't go out with him or if I wasn't going to be his girlfriend, like, I was an innocent church girl. I believed him. I thought, like, part of me, like, I thought he probably won't. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, the 1% chance that he does. Then could I live with myself if he did that? Could I? Could I? But yeah, it's like the safety. And then, like, he was like, well, how else was I supposed to? Oh, was I supposed to tell you when I was thinking about it? No freaking duh. And he was like, well, how, like, okay, so how, like, he wanted me to give him dating advice. He wanted me to give him advice for future relationships of how to break up with somebody and how to, and it's just like you dated your ex for about 19, or you were married to your, or with your ex for about 19 years. You didn't learn one thing about communication. You didn't look, oh yeah, with all of the other people she dated while married to you, you didn't pay attention to how she treated the other people that she was with while with you. You didn't watch the breakups of the ladies and gentlemen that she was with while with you. You may not have dated, but she dated plenty. You didn't pay attention to the heartbreak that she went through. When people broke up with her, ghosted her, treated her bad, you didn't listen to and observe. And so that's one reason why it's like when I got out the vehicle and he had the nerve to, like, oh, you look beautiful today. Shut up. Oh, I was shaking my head. So ooh, I almost said shut up, but like, I was just like, you know what? No, I've been mature. I've been mature. I'm going to walk into that house, go to my room, and then cry. But then once I got to my room, I was pissed. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It's just another man who doesn't think I'm special. Same day, same story. Different day, same story. Different hour, same story. And the thought, like, he just thought, oh, I thought the right thing was to pick you up in my car. I thought if I can just drive you somewhere. Oh, well, maybe we can drive somewhere and talk it out. Talk it out. You already made the decision. You said you thought about this for 2 weeks. What is there to talk out? Because now you're acting like you are you thinking that I'm gonna try to be desperate and beg for you? No, you made the decision. I have no idea why. And see, and that's another frustrating thing because how can someone figure out, like, okay, what did I do wrong if no one tells them? But then, and then it's so confusing when they keep coming back. I just, I think the episode is up when one of the guys walked back into my Facebook wanting to be my friend after, oh, it's like one guy after another. After, like, I think this year, oh my gosh, I think I'm at 4 or 5 this year. Last year was about 6. How come these men keep trying to come back into my life? Why? This one won't. This one won't. Because I, if you don't tell me, especially, and if he was able to play that part so well the last, he said, 2 weeks, like, even if he did change his mind, which he won't, like, I'll never know. I'm always gonna second guess him because now I know he never loved me. He said it on Valentine's Day, the most stereotypical day of the year, but yeah, he told me he loved me on Valentine's Day. And he told me we were going to go on a trip this summer. And he kept telling me that I was going to meet his kids. Like, yo. See, I could tell these stories now, babies. Ooh, I could tell these stories now. But he was a great guy. I mean, he is a great guy, but he was a great guy. But now at least I see flaws. I saw flaws before, but no one's perfect. And I was like, you know what? This makes him human. And one of the sad truths is he kept trying to make me feel bad for him. How are you going to make me feel bad for you while you're breaking up with me, while you're hurting me, while you admit that you pretended for 2 weeks that everything was okay just for everything not to be okay? And there was like, why would you invite me to go to lunch with your coworkers and you're thinking about breaking up with me? Yeah, yeah, he did that. Mhm, mhm. He did so many things. But the thing that really ticks me off is that he thought it was like he was so concerned about his image. He was so concerned about his image. He'd rather drive off somewhere else and making me feel so uncomfortable. Because it was to a point, like, we were sitting there for, like, because part of me, I'm just like, okay, you're breaking up with me. Either talk or drive me back home. Do you know I told him drive me home 2 or 3 times? Do you know I told him to drive me home 2 or 3? It might have been more than that. I know for sure at least 2 or 3 times. I just said, just drive me home. And then he would pause. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Why are you pausing? I kind of wondered, did he think I was just gonna be like, oh my gosh, no, 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 oh please, oh, like, don't break up with me. Like, no, I'm not one of those girls. Like, and see, this is why, like, I've met so many men who either tried to make me be desperate or jealous, because, like, Mr. No Heart, he constantly tried to get me to be jealous. But I realized, like, while recording my episodes, sometimes I would put the pieces together. because whenever we were out and men would come up to me, or like at the Dollar Tree or grocery store, if I'm grocery shopping or picking something up on a higher shelf, oh, beautiful, yeah, let me get that for you. Where are you getting that? And oh, you look nice today. How are you today, sweetheart? It's like, yeah, my ex would ignore me for the rest of the day. And so then I would try to be less and less attractive, like no makeup. And then since I was working at that certain school where students were threatening to, yeah, you already know. You already know. And if you don't catch up. So I was to a point where I'm just like, I don't care what I wear. My ex doesn't care, or my ex doesn't want me to look pretty enough to get compliments. And at the school, some of these students are a literal nightmare. Yes, I said it and I meant it, because yeah, if you don't know what some of these students did, you need to catch up. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. But I'm just at a point where I'm like, are you serious? And I guess I'm just upset over the car, because there's some, like, yes, there's some times where, like, if you're gonna break up over email and phone, yes, it's like, why are you doing this, blah 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 blah, whatever whatever. I'm not that type of girl. Like, I know with, like, Ben, the nurse, yeah, I was pissed off because, like, the night before, he was acting like I was his princess. Oh, he was sharing, like, he showed me two hotels in two different cities. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to take you to both of these places. And he told me I was wife material. But then turns around just days later and says he blamed, or he broke up with me, but blamed it on, like, he didn't like, and this is during the end of COVID. Like, I think this was like a couple of days before I got vaccinated. But since he's a nurse and he has to take showers and do it, like, that's why, like, one day a week he came over to the house. I think one week he came twice, but that was, like, I said, like, that was our deal. And that's the thing, we communicated. And that's the funny thing. Do you know how many men where I communicate as a relationship, we communicate and talk, but then later on in the relationship, they change their mind, or they don't want that anymore, but they don't tell me. So then later on, they get mad at me, and or they're disappointed in me because I didn't figure out that they changed their mind when they didn't tell me that they changed their mind. Because yeah, Ben would, like, all of a sudden he was like, well, I don't like that I only come over once a week. I don't like that you never come over to my house, even though COVID and there's kids at, like, he has kids. Yeah, yeah. And it would, and then also with, oh, the one guy that I told you guys about, where I forgot what I nicknamed him, but the one who, in order to make me jealous and to read his mind or what, because he was just like, you need to sleep with me soon, and if you don't, I'm going to sleep with my boss. That date was, well, his, I think it was like his cousin. It's like, it was his cousin, his girlfriend, and then him, and then and me. He's like, we were in a vehicle driving or whatever, and at first, like, they said, oh, we're going to go to this restaurant where I'm going to treat you, blah 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 blah, whatever. Restaurant was closed. Yeah, because of COVID still. Yeah, because this is after Ben and stuff. So, like, later, like, after being vaccinated or whatever, whatever. But then they drove to another restaurant, and I want to get out that vehicle so bad. And yes, it's different, but at the same time, it's like being in a vehicle, and then after that date, like, this same guy is telling me that if I don't sleep with him next time, he's gonna sleep with the boss or his boss. And so I tell him, okay, fine. And he does it. He did it. And he even said one of the times, I think we were texting, or it might have been over the phone, verbal or whatever, that he can come, like, if I still wanted to have an access to him or to be able to have him as my own, he can drive up real quick so I can show that I'm worthy. Yeah. And so, like, but I've been through so much with men. So many men act like they don't know why some of them stay single, but then they do things like this. Then they do things like this. And especially somebody with a walking disability who, like, okay, if you're going to break up with somebody, do it in separate car, like, ask to drive separately and ask to be in a public spot place. Okay, that's like, yeah, he went to a park, and was it public? No, it was full of cars, but it wasn't public. Like, yeah, no one really was around. But at the same time, the first time I said, take me home, he should have taken me home. If you're about to break up with somebody and they say, take me home, take them home. Don't ask questions. Don't ask, can we talk about? No. If you already made up your mind, if you already made up the final decision, there's nothing to talk about. Shut up and drive. It's like you had no problem, you know, pretending this whole time, oh, it's gonna be a date night, blah blah blah. Like, and that's another. At first, I thought, oh, maybe he wants to go out to a new restaurant because he's done that before, where he, like, we get in the vehicle and I think we're driving to our normal place, and next thing I know, yeah, he's surprising me by driving me to a new restaurant. Oh, I thought you would like this because A, B, and C, and blah 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 blah, whatever. And that's one of the funny, like, this man has no idea the surprises and things that I was trying to do for him. And but at the same time, maybe I'm just supposed to retire from dating. I almost want to say maybe the next guy, but these men are no good. They keep proving that they are absolutely no good. They get mad at us if it takes us a while to trust them. Because that's the thing, like, some men are so patient, and or some men are dating other women, so then they just, oh, I'll wait it out. I'll wait for her to trust me. I'll fool her. I'll be able to fool her. I can trick her. I can hold off until, yeah, yeah. And yeah, so I don't know. It's like, I know some people are going to think I'm dumb and gullible and things. But with a lot of these guys, especially even the one with his cousin or whatever, I talked to this guy for almost a month before we went on the first date. And Tomas, let's see, I think we were talking virtually because we met on Scout or Meet Me, but we were doing virtuals. We met on there, and it was like a month before we exchanged numbers, and about maybe a month and a half before we changed numbers. But then it was another month before we even decided to go on a date, like, because we were talking on the phone for like, was it 2 or 3? It might have been 3 months now that I think about it. Because, yeah, it was about 1.5 months. But yeah, and then we were calling each other for months, or for at least weeks. Yeah, I said months. Like, no, it wasn't. So anyways, 2 or 3 months. But, like, I try to filter. I try to see, can I trust you? Can I? And they're like, yeah, you can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust. No, I can't trust you. So many men have lied and said I can trust them, and I can't. And with vehicles and no, I can't trust you. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. A little heartache, a little pain, but I'm human too.